Hey y'all, what you doing today? I hope everybody having a good, blessed day. Um, I came on to talk about why I feed the homeless. Um, when I was young, my mom always raised me to be kind, be accountable, be honest. You know, with people, treat people nice, be kind. Even though she was misunderstood a lot, I am too a lot. Like I just stay to myself a lot. Because in my heart is something different from what people may see on the outside or assume or whatever. Do I have other side? Yes, I do. I do have another side. Everybody does. Everybody does. But because sometimes you have to nowadays in this world, man. People will run over you, So you have to have boundaries um, to keep yourself safe and protect yourself from people. Coming up as a little girl, though, life was difficult for me, very difficult, because my mama drank all the time. But she took good care of me and my sister, and I got a brother also, but they took him out the house early on, because people would call CPS on my mom all the time or whatever, even though she was taking care of us, feeding us well, dressing us well. Back in them days, things was if they got into it with somebody, CPS was to go to. I can hurt her by getting her kids taken. So we ended up in foster homes too. Me and my sister, they took my brother, and most time he never did really come back. He stayed with my uncle most of his life. But me and my sister, we were just in and out of foster homes, because my family is dysfunctional. They weren't gonna take us, but we ended up back in the home with my mom. But it was still crazy and abusive. Because one thing, I was always the person that my mom would abuse. If my sister did something or told on me about something, or I wouldn't go outside with her or something, she'd say something to mom about it, and mom would whoop me um, about anything that she had to say. So I was just a child that always kept getting the whoopings no matter what I did, trying to do the right thing. Also in the household, my mom and her boyfriend ain't do nothing but fight a lot, just fight. Because my mom, he would go out and when he come back, she'll be mad about it, and then they'll start fighting. And I'm talking about physical fighting, and to the point where one night he knocked her out with a 2x4. And then he came after me and my sister, and I just grabbed my sister and ran fast as I could, and he was running behind us, and I just snatched the door open, and got us out just in time, ran to the neighbor house, and the neighbors got us and called the police. But and I know I'm looking a mess, y'all, but it is what it is right now. And she just always taught us to be kind, even through all of that drinking and all of abuse and the fighting and stuff like that. But one thing really pricked my heart with the homeless was I was in an abusive relationship, because you know what you grow up in, you end up getting back in when you get older. So I got into abusive marriage, and been together 20 some years or whatever, and he just became abusive out of the blue, very abusive, mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, emotionally. He just became very abusive towards me. Like I was a child in the house, just like my children was. I was a child too. I could not say nothing or tell them yes or no to stuff. I mean, like he turned them against me so bad that they just did not respect me. He talked to me any kind of way, and I would work in two jobs, y'all. Reason why I look at the homeless different, because I would work in two jobs, and I still could not finance me a place to stay down here. With working two jobs, I still could not make enough money to get away from him, so I had to stay for a while. And then one day I just got tired, and um, I just left, and I went to a shelter, and then he called me back, and I went back. And 2 weeks later, every time I would go back, 2 weeks later, he'll start right back up again with the mess. So the next time I went back, to make a long story short, the next time I went back, he called. He said that they had laid him off his job that he'd been at for like 16 years. And I was like, well, I'm working two jobs. I was at the shelter now, mind you. I said, I'm working two jobs, so I'm just gonna come and help pay what I can pay. And move along. Got back there 2 weeks later. Next thing I know, I had filled out a application for a low income apartment, and they called that one day. I was just sitting in there. I was at work, and I was doing my rooms, and I was like, God, please, I need a place to stay. And I'm telling you, probably about 30 minutes later, they called me on the phone and said, come finish filling out my paperwork because they had an apartment ready for me. And I got home and I was telling my daughter, she was like 18, and they said that she had to fill out her own paper too because of her age for her to be able to stay with me. So I was telling her, and he didn't go to work for some reason that day. He was laying on the couch when I came in and told her, and he got mad. And he got up and he left for about a couple hours. And then he came back and started slamming cabinets and just doors and anything he could slam. And then I just got upset because I was like, why is he doing all this? Ain't nobody said nothing wrong to him, did anything wrong to him. So I had opened the door and slammed it back to her because I had just got so upset. I got so tired of being him picking and want to fight all the time. So I got too upset and I slammed the door back and I kind of broke the glass in the curio stand. And I went on outside because my sister had pulled up and I was filling some disability papers out for her, trying to get her back on her disability. And he come out, he went to his car and he grabbed his gun. And the only thing saved me was my son. My son stepped and told him, my son don't disrespect his dad, but he stepped up and told him, if you pull that gun on my mama, I'm going to fight you today. And that's the only thing saved me from him. So the police came, and police were like, somebody got to leave. And I said, well, I'm not leaving because I keep on leaving. I've been leaving and living on the streets and the shelter, wherever. And he keep calling me back, and then when I come back, then I have to get out again. So they made him leave. So he came back early next morning, I guess while I was asleep. Dangerous thing, when somebody pull a gun on you, but I didn't press charges. She told me I could, but all I could think about was my kids. So I didn't press charges on him. I just was happy she made him leave for the first time. He had to leave. And so I stayed to that Friday. I think this happened on like a Wednesday. I stayed to that Friday. And then when she left for work, I got up and I packed everything. All my clothes, stuff I could take with me, no furniture, and probably one or two TVs from where I bought from when I had moved out before. And I left, and I never went back. I never went back not one time. I haven't looked back since. That been about 6 years ago. But that what really pricked my heart about taking care of the homeless, because I became homeless with 2 jobs. I had 2 jobs working hard and couldn't afford anything. And I know a lot of people be like, well, they can go work, they can go do this, they can go do that. Okay, they can, some of them. But sometimes you need to stop and hear somebody's story out. And one day I'm going to sit down with one of them and I'm going to get their story. I'm going to probably sit down with more than one of them and get their story to let people see and hear. And I hope it's the right one that I sit down with and it pricks your heart. Because I know my story. And I know it's some homeless people out there got that same story. It's people out here homeless sleeping in their car that works. They work 2 jobs like I was and still can't afford a place to stay. So sometimes you're not trying to be homeless. And then I know it's some I heard that, life took them through a lot and they got on drugs and then they became homeless. They became homeless from being on them drugs, couldn't get back off. It's a story behind everybody and everything and why somebody want to do this and choose to do this. And it been pricking my heart for a while to get up and go do something about it. Instead of talking about it, go do something about it. But I was working so hard, 7 days a week, 2 jobs. It just like wasn't no time. I was doing little stuff here and there, but I just didn't have time to stop and do nothing else because I couldn't afford to take days off of work for my bills and stuff. Also, I help the homeless in other ways too. It's not just like me actually going out there feeding them. If I got somebody on my Facebook page and I know this person, I've been watching this person a long time, and they out there feeding the homeless, you know what else I do? I cash out them $100, because that's another way you can feed the homeless too. You cash out them some money. If you can't get out there and you see somebody you trust doing it, then you send that money to them, and they gonna make sure it happens. You know what I'm saying? Because you know they gonna make sure it happens. So that's another way I was feeding the homeless. You know, I do a lot behind closed doors. I do them homeless videos. One, to inspire somebody and open somebody's eyes to the homeless, and number two, I do them because people cash out me their money, and I don't want them to cash out me their money and they don't see what I'm doing with it. So it's not to bring them down or something for people to brag on about me or something like that. It's not for that, y'all. It's only because people send cash out sometimes, and I want to make sure they, they see where their money going. Their money not going into my bank account. Their money gonna go in the grocery store or whatever else I may have to get for them one day. I may have to start doing something else for them one day. So it's gonna go towards that. And I really would like to keep that money separate when they cash app it to me, to make sure I keep a good count on what I'm getting from cash app. But that's the reason why it pricked my heart to go out and feed the homeless. And when I thought about it again last week, it pricked my heart so hard. I said, I'm finna do this now. I'm finna do this now. I'm not finna talk about it no more, think about it no more. I'm finna get up and go do it. And I may only do it once a month sometimes. I may do it twice a month sometimes. Like yesterday we pulled up. The last Sunday I fed them. Wasn't nobody out there feeding them. But this yesterday I pulled up. Somebody had already pulled up and started feeding them. We started cooking early yesterday morning as soon as we got out to bed for them. But when I pulled up yesterday, somebody had already was out there feeding them. It was lucky enough we got off for all our plates. We took like 25 plates, and it was lucky enough we got off all of them. It was still some out there wanted something to eat. And we cooked like a dinner last Sunday, this Sunday. I don't know what we're going to do next and when we're going to do it, but we cooked, they had fried chicken yesterday. We did sweet peas, cornbread, and some corn for them yesterday. So, yeah, we cooked like a good hot dinner. It was still hot. The place had melted, you guys. But I just want to come on here and let y'all know what pricked my heart to go out and help the homeless. And I hope, somebody else get up and think about the homeless and go feed them or give them a coat or something. One of my things is, in my heart, is all these empty buildings down through here, man. I be want to open one of them up, set some guidelines and some rules, and have a place for them to come to. And ask them, listen, can you get your ID and get your birth certificate? Get all this stuff. Help them get this stuff. And then help them start moving towards getting a job and getting their life back on track. For those that really want it and need the help. Because all of them ain't going to accept it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you have to have some limitations, some rules, and some guidelines for it. Because all of them ain't going to accept that help until they ready for it. But I just want to come on and let you guys know what inspired me to go out and do what I need to do. And like I said, it came on my mind last week again. And I just said, I ain't putting it off no more. I'm going to do it. I may not get out there every Sunday, but I'm going to get out there. From now on, I'm not going to not get out there. I'm not going to just think about it. But I love y'all. I had to come on here and tell y'all a few words about that. I love y'all. Y'all keep loving on people. When you see people, give them a smile. If you in the drive-thru line, pay for somebody to order behind you. Do something nice. Bless somebody. Be a blessing. You know what I'm saying? You never know what people going through. You never know. I love y'all. Keep your head up. And I'm going to get on off of here. I hope this video inspires somebody and bless somebody. Mwah.